For many women, the act of disagreeing can feel much deeper than a simple difference of opinion. It often strikes at the core of their identity, making debates feel personal rather than just intellectual. This emotional connection to agreement and validation sets the stage for why healthy debates can be so challenging in some relationships. When disagreement is perceived as invalidation, it's easy to see why tensions rise quickly. Understanding this dynamic is crucial for anyone hoping to navigate conversations with empathy and respect. As we explore this topic, keep in mind how identity and validation intertwine, shaping the way disagreements are experienced and expressed. Let's look at a common scenario: the Easter task experiment. Imagine a woman delegating a task to a man, such as preparing for an Easter event. The man, wanting to avoid conflict, asks a series of detailed questions to ensure he meets her exact standards. This isn't just about being thorough, it's about avoiding potential criticism or disagreement. Men often develop this pattern of behavior to maintain harmony and sidestep emotional fallout. By asking for specifics, they hope to fulfill expectations precisely, which can sometimes be misinterpreted as a lack of initiative. This dynamic reveals much about how both genders approach tasks and communication. Men are assigned tasks by women. They often seek clarification to avoid making mistakes. This behavior is rooted in a desire to meet expectations and prevent disagreements. Men may feel that if they don't ask enough questions, they risk criticism for not doing things the right way. Over time, this can create a cycle where men become hesitant to take initiative, fearing emotional backlash. This pattern isn't about incompetence, but about navigating the emotional landscape of the relationship. Understanding these motivations helps explain why men sometimes seem overly cautious when completing tasks. There's an unspoken rule in many relationships: if a woman doesn't want to do a task, she won't comment on how it's done. This approach can create tension, especially when emotional labor is unevenly distributed. By choosing not to criticize, women maintain control over the process, but it can also lead to frustration for men who feel their efforts go unrecognized. This dynamic highlights the complexities of emotional labor and the subtle ways control is exercised in relationship. It's not just about who does what, but about how tasks are managed and acknowledged. Emotional labor refers to the invisible work of managing feelings and relationships. In many cases, women take on the bulk of this labor, setting standards for how tasks should be done. This can create a power dynamic where men feel pressure to meet expectations without room for their own input. The result is often a sense of imbalance, with men feeling excluded from decision-making and women feeling burdened by the responsibility of maintaining harmony. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward more equitable and understanding relationships. When disagreements arise, some women may resort to personal attacks rather than sticking to the topic at hand. This shift from logic to emotion can make debates feel unsafe for both parties. By framing disagreement as a personal offense, the conversation moves away from facts and toward feelings. This strategy can effectively shut down dialogue, as the focus becomes avoiding hurt rather than resolving the issue. Understanding this pattern helps explain why some debates escalate quickly and why genuine dialogue can be so difficult to achieve. In some cases, women may use offense as a tool to steer debates away from logic and toward moral or emotional grounds. This tactic can make it challenging for men to engage in rational discussion, as any disagreement is quickly reframed as a moral failing. The result is a breakdown in communication, with both sides feeling misunderstood and excluded. Recognizing this dynamic is essential for fostering healthier, more productive conversations where both perspectives are valued. Debates often become difficult when logic is replaced by appeals to morality or emotion. For many women, maintaining social harmony is more important than being factually correct. This can lead to situations where facts are dismissed in favor of preserving feelings. Men, on the other hand, may feel frustrated when their logical arguments are met with emotional responses. Understanding these different priorities can help both sides approach disagreements with greater empathy and patience. Email communication often prioritizes social harmony and group cohesion. When disagreements arise, exclusion can be used as a strategy to maintain unity and discourage dissent. This approach values emotional comfort over factual accuracy, making it difficult for opposing viewpoints to be heard. Men who challenge the group's consensus may find themselves socially isolated or dismissed. Recognizing this strategy can help both men and women navigate disagreements more effectively, fostering a more inclusive environment for dialogue. In many situations, women defend emotion over facts, especially when disagreements threaten group harmony. This defense mechanism helps maintain relationships but can stifle open debate. Men may struggle to have their perspectives acknowledged if they conflict with the group's emotional consensus. By understanding the value placed on emotion, both sides can work toward more balanced conversations that respect feelings without sacrificing truth. Femininity often values harmony, while disagreement is seen as a disruption. When women experience disagreement, it can feel like a threat to their sense of self and the group's unity. This perception leads to defensive reactions, as preserving emotional comfort becomes the priority. Men may not always understand the response, interpreting it as avoidance or hostility. Recognizing the underlying need for harmony can help both sides approach disagreements with greater understanding. For many women, disagreement isn't just about differing opinions, it's experienced as a personal threat. This emotional response can lead to hostility or withdrawal, as women seek to protect their identity and emotional well-being. Men may find it difficult to engage in meaningful dialogue when their perspectives are met with defensiveness. By acknowledging the personal nature of disagreement, both sides can work toward more compassionate and effective communication. And often face challenges when their perspectives are silenced by emotional defensiveness and shamming. Attempts at rational dialogue can be met with accusations of insensitivity or moral failing, leading men to withdraw from the conversation. This dynamic increases frustration and can reinforce the belief that their viewpoints are valid but unwelcome. Understanding this pattern is key to breaking the cycle and fostering more open, respectful communication between men and women. Drawing from personal experience, the creator shares how repeated attempts at rational dialogue often end in emotional shamming. This leads to a sense of isolation and suspicion that their perspective is valid but not accepted. The emotional toll of these interactions can be significant, affecting both self-esteem and the willingness to engage in future conversations. By sharing these experiences, the creator hopes to shed light on the challenges men face and encourage more empathetic communication. Ultimately, understanding the emotional dynamics at play in disagreements can lead to healthier, more productive conversations. By recognizing the ways in which identity, emotion, and social harmony influence communication, both men and women can work toward greater empathy and mutual respect. The goal isn't to eliminate disagreement, but to create a space where differing perspectives can be shared without fear of personal attack or exclusion. With patience and understanding, it's possible to build stronger, more resilient relationships.